Hey guys, Kakarot197 again, this time with a review of the 144th scale Javelin from the Victory Gundam series. So for colors, we have a lightish teal for most of the body, white, polycap gray, and also translucent pink for some of the accessories. Now this of course means that we get a lot of stickers. For starters, we get a nice bronze one for the visor, and the cool thing is that his visor plate is attached to the back of the head. So that means that this sticker is in fact sandwiched between the front and the back, so it's not gonna come loose. Something they, for some reason, didn't do with the high-grade Universal Centuries, well, at least the early ones. Then we've got the face mask, one for each of the vents. Then we got 5 black ones for the abdomen. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th one at the back there. There's also a final one that should be applied to his main camera here. The problem is the sticker is just way too big to fit in there. This is a sticker they give you, and that's supposed to fit in this tiny little thingy here. So that's not going to happen. Oh yeah, final one we also get is a sticker with his name for his little stand, Javelin. And before we go on to articulation, I just want to point out one of the main features of this guy. Well, actually of the entire Victory model line. You get an inner frame. It's pretty much the same for all the Victory Gundam models. So not only does it mean that this guy was way ahead of its time, but if you take a look at the manual, you can actually swap parts between the different mobile suits, just like Metabots. So for a kit from 1993, that's pretty amazing. On to articulation now. The head goes bit up, bit down. Will rotate about that far. Then the arms will rotate all the way around. Go up all the way like that. Then they're on a ball joint, so they also have a little bit of wiggle. Then the arm will go about 90 degrees, not quite, the elbow, and also rotates above the elbow. Then the hand is on a ball joint, so we'll rotate around, wiggle, and do everything a ball joint does. For the backpack, we've got these shot lancer things, and they're also on pegs. Now before we go on, I just have to point out something. You get these white plastic connectors, but you can actually, if you have some spare polycaps, this is a white one you get, and this is actually the polycap equivalent. So if you have spare polycaps, I highly recommend that you swap them, because the plastic one is very flimsy, flails around. Polycap one doesn't. The plastic one is very hard to move and even harder to pull out, whereas the polycap one is very easy to move, easy to pull out, but it's not going to fall out, so I seriously recommend doing that. So back to articulation. The waist will rotate around all the way if you're careful enough. Then front skirts are molded separately once again. Pretty amazing for 1993. We'll go out about that far, and that means that the leg goes forward very nicely like that. Goes outward about that far and backwards until it hits the back skirt. The knees are just single joint and they go up about 90 degrees. Then the feet are actually quite surprising. They are on two joints. First you've got one on the top, and then you've got an extra ball joint to also give it a little bit of wiggle side to side. It goes forwards all the way like that, backwards about that far, and then we'll rotate like so. And that means that for articulation, it's pretty standard for a Victory Gundam model. For the time, actually kind of amazing, really. On to accessories now. And let's start with his shot lancers, which are already on him. Like I said, this is actually pretty hard to remove. So I'm going to remove it once, then I'm going to replace it with the polycap. So, oof, that didn't sound too good. Whoa, man. If the camera wants to focus, it's already starting to seriously wear down. That's not a good sign. Highly recommend swapping them. So what you can do with these is you pull down the handle, put it in the hand, close it once again, and now he's got a giant syringe with a rocket on the end. If that ain't scary, I don't know what is. So, oh yeah, he can actually hold it, well, hold it. The manual shows you that he can also hold it like this. But yeah, it's not really holding it because the joints just aren't good enough to allow him to hold it like this. Bit unfortunate, but well, it is an old kit, so you can forgive it for that. Let's put this to the side and now get on with the accessories that aren't on the kit. First of all, we have the standard issue beam rifle, which could definitely do with a paint job and is also unfortunately hollow on one side. Fits into the hand nicely, and you've got a peg here and a hole on either side of the leg. There we go. Then we've also got the standard beam shield, which is a very nice accessory, nice translucent pink. You simply pop this off, put the shield in there and put it back on. There you go. Next up, you've also got two translucent pink beams. And I've gotta say, for this time, 1993 for a 1/144th scale kit, a no grade, to have translucent pink beams, that is simply amazing. And well, I'm actually not sure, should I be happy about this kit or should I be severely disappointed with the Gundam Wing, Gundam X and G Gundam series? Yeah, who can tell? And you've got a straight one and a nice slashing one. So you can choose either have it idle or in an action pose. Actually, thinking about it, it's quite unfortunate that they don't do this with modern kits. Because of course the beam is only straight when it's not being used. When the mobile suit slashes, it would of course become like this. So very, very nice. Then, well, those are all the accessories for the mobile suit. Now comes the really nice things. You get a stand. And as if that wasn't good enough, you get a backdrop. So not only do you get a stand, you get an instant diorama. Also interestingly, there's another Javelin in the back, so you could say that you get two for the price of one. Oh yeah, another cool thing about these backdrops is you actually have some information here, but they're kind of like collectible cards because you've got different versions. The front is always the same, but the back is always different. As far as I know, there are 3 different ones. One with a general description. Well, this kind of says what is. I mean, like thrusters, main camera. Actually, pretty obvious. This goes into a bit more detail of what things do. Here you see that the shot lancer actually extends, which this guy doesn't, unfortunately. And then you've got another one with some stats. And that's not even all about these backdrops, because as you might have seen, they are numbered. They go from 1 to 4, and you have different kinds of backdrops. This one is, for example, space, but you've also got forest and like battle and different kinds. So, if you have a following number, such as 1 and 3, well, then you simply grab the other base, you attach it, because they do attach, and then you line them up, and your little diorama just became a bit bigger. Attach like this, and yeah, that's actually really nice. It's just a little bit extra, but that's what makes these Victory Gundam models so amazing. All of those extra tiny little thingies. Oh yeah, almost forgot. You get one stand which allows him to like stand up, and this one is more at an angle, so it looks more like he's dashing. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Well, for Sardis, it depends a little bit on how much you like the paint. Because if you don't like the paint, the colors don't look quite right. A lot of the white and the thrusters here should be black. Like the bottom of the feet, thruster here, beam rifle, half of this shot lancer, and there should also be some yellow here. So it does require some paint touch-ups, and it looks a bit off like this. So this is definitely a kit you would want to paint. So if you don't like painting, don't get this guy, but buy another Victory Gundam model. Because pretty much the other Victory Gundam models have all the good things mentioned here, minus the painting required to make him look good. However, if you like painting and you like the way this guy looks, then by all means do pick him up. It's 500 yen. I mean, that's just ridiculously low when you look at all the stuff you get. Not only do you get a stand, but you get an instant diorama, and you even have clear parts. That just by itself is once again amazing. I think I've been overusing this word a lot, but that's just what the Victory line is. So for some quick comparisons, one reason why they are so cheap is because they are tiny. Comparison shot with the 1/144th scale Gym Custom. This is a standard size mobile suit. This one isn't. Make it even more ridiculous, the slightly more massive Star Jagan. These guys hardly fit into screen. So yeah, it is a tiny model, but that definitely doesn't detract from how great they are. And a quick comparison with the Gunnies and the Tomliat, and that's all for this review, and see you at the next one.